There we are. Whoops. I had to move the tripod a little bit. Sorry about that. Didn't mean for it to bump at the beginning of the show. And let me turn off, let me mute my sound on my desktop behind the camera in front of me. I'm going to go to live chat and I'm going to set a small goal. Hey, Jane Rice, you're the first one here, my dear. Just setting up my chat on the desktop behind me. Make sure my phone chat is also set to all messages. You guys are watching, you might want to set your chat to live chat from top chat. Oh, hey, Kathy Doherty and Kathy X50. Wow, already got the two Kathys in, and we have one more that's probably coming in. Hey, Boston Bill, how you doing, my friend? I haven't heard from you yet. Didn't get an email last night. I've been pretty busy today, though. A couple people sent me some emails like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, you haven't gone on the air yet." Oh my gosh, let me pin a message. It's been a busy day. Okay, let me type that in and I will pin that to the bottom of my chat. I don't know if you guys can see that on the top or the bottom. Hi, from Southern Cal, driving in Arizona. Hello, Karen Peterson. Oh, we have another Karen. Where in Arizona are you driving, Karen? Well, you probably shouldn't type that back if you're driving. Hey, Jewel Giancana. I'm just going to give it a few minutes. My tripod, I kind of had the jerkies right when I started this. I'm like, people say, what's going on with that tripod? Okay, 17 people in the house. Wow. We're under 3 minutes. We've already got 17 people in the house. You're headed to Lake Havasu. That sounds fun. I bet it'll be a scorcher there. Wear your sunscreen. Okay, 20 people in the house. I'm April Davis, PI. I am a California licensed private investigator, and I've been reporting on the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case since February the 2nd of 2026. If you guys haven't seen my other videos on it, you may want to go to my true crime series or my Nancy Guthrie series. And I do apologize that yesterday I did this show right after I did a premiere and I forgot to put the mics on. And it was weird because right before I, went on the show, I felt like, am I dressed properly? Do I have everything? Did I turn off my notifications? Did I set my monetization? Is the chat set up right? Something seemed to be off. And then as soon as I replayed the video, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot the mics. So you might have to turn up your volume. But welcome in, everybody. It's another slow news day, and I still need to finish my thumbnail. I did a last minute thumbnail just to come on. No, I don't watch any of the detective TV series Handsome Man. I really don't. I know, I wasn't even a Charlie's Angels fan when I was a little small child. Uh, my dad was actually into things like that though, but I just didn't watch. Wasn't planning on growing up and being a PI, but let me get back to Nancy here. It's been kind of for the last several weeks actually, the news has been really, really slow. I did hear something a couple days ago. I said from like someone who posts on Facebook and Insta about a body being found in like a canal or something in Tucson, and there's no proof of that whatsoever. So I did hear today though, and it wasn't from like a mainstream news source. It was from, um, oh, I don't even have the title of the agency up here. It's from India, and it wasn't from the Hindustan Times. And they're not exactly reliable. Who was it from? Uh, the Sunday Tribune, or I'm sorry, that got cut off the top of the article, but it was dated June 5th. And I'm like, isn't today June 4th? And then I realized, like, oh, that must be someone from another country. I think it was the Sunday Tribune, but whatever it was, the Sunday whatever, it was from India. And they have the story. Hold on, Roscoe. The daughter did it for the insurance. Oh, no, I hope not. Leanne, happy Thursday, April. I missed most of your live videos this week. You can always watch on the replay. Leanne, but thanks for coming. Half hog, half man. No PI stories right now. There is a story that just broke. Let me see where I found this from. Because I was like, what? The Sunday Guardian, not the Sunday Tribune. And when I saw the date, it's at June 5th, 2026 at 4:14 IST. That was in Indian Standard Time. I'm like, what? That must be India, and it is. But it's about a body was found, and it says live updates today, but there's no date in this article. They have a time, but they don't have a date. So I'm a little sus whenever I see something from not a mainstream news. At least they're not mainstream here in the United States. They might be mainstream in India, but there's no date, which always makes me go, Oh, thank you, Leanne. She says she watched 2 of the replays. An unidentified body found in a Phoenix golf course pond has renewed attention on the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. Authorities have not confirmed any connection to the case, while investigators continue pursuing leads more than 4 months after her disappearance. Yeah, with Nancy, we're in the 5th month. It says the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie has remained one of Arizona's most closely watched missing person cases for more than 4 months. And now, the discovery of an unidentified body in a Phoenix golf course pond has added a layer of uncertainty to an investigation that has already drawn national attention, while authorities have not confirmed any connection between the body and Guthrie's case. But the development has reignited public interest as investigators continue searching for answers. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm sorry if somebody was found. And then it goes on to say Nancy Guthrie is the mother of television journalist Savannah Guthrie. She was reported missing on February 1st from her home in Tucson. And since then, law enforcement agencies, private investigators, and federal authorities have been involved in a search effort that has spanned months and generated thousands of leads. Now, the private investigator part, that has never been confirmed. That's an assumption by the media, but private investigators' involvement has never been confirmed by the family. It also goes on to say that Phoenix emergency crews responded to reports of a body found floating in a pond at the Arizona Biltmore Estates golf course near 32nd Street and Camelback Road. According to officials, first responders arrived shortly after 9 a.m. and located an unresponsive adult face down in the water. Okay. Investigators secured the scene while police and forensic teams began the identification process, while early assessments reportedly found no immediate signs of foul play, though authorities have stressed that the investigation remains active. The discovery occurred roughly 115 miles from Tucson, where Guthrie was last seen, prompting widespread speculation despite the absence of a confirmed link. So, yeah, you know, I'm sorry for whoever has been possibly found floating in a golf course pond in Phoenix. They didn't say if it was male or female, uh, but we cannot just link every set of remains found to Nancy Guthrie. But it's important enough to mention, but there's no definitive link. Hey, Rita Close. I wonder if there was national coverage when Pond Girl went missing. I don't know what case that is, Dave Biggs, because it probably didn't have national attention. I mean, I know a lot about other cases, but I don't know about Pawn Girl. Hey, Mary Fish, welcome in. So yeah, and I've not heard this from any news source from the United States or from Arizona. You would think that would be a big breaking story, at least in Phoenix, if somebody was found floating deceased on a golf course pond that seems like it might be located at a country club or something. Um, I don't know. Like, I doubt there's a connection, but I don't think that's connected to what I think was a false story that I heard from. There's this, like I said, there's a woman I watch. I won't even call her out because a lot of her information is inaccurate, but she's like got a monetized Facebook and Instagram, I think, and she does like daily reels on Nancy's case and other cases. And a lot of times I don't agree with what she has said. And she had said, like, was it yesterday or the day before, that there was a body that was found in a body of water in Tucson. And, it's like, what, 48 hours later? I still don't see anything in the news about that. I think that would be a big story considering that Nancy Guthrie is missing from Tucson. If a female body was found in Tucson, I think the whole world would know about that. So, you know, maybe she's reading these fake AI stories. Maybe she even made stuff up just to get clicks. I don't know. Like, I still want to fix my thumbnail because I don't want my thumbnail to sound or look clickbaity. That's why I didn't put anything about the pool, or not the pool, but the pond in the title. I don't know. Maybe I should to build up my channel, but I don't want to report on things that are not confirmed or are inaccurate. So this newspaper, which I called the Sunday Tribune, but it's actually the Sunday Guardian, appears to be a newspaper in India. Where are they getting this? I don't know. Like, I'm not seeing anything else on the net. If anybody else has heard this story today, let me know. Um, I just question stuff that's coming from across the world, but yet we're looking for a very prominent missing person in Arizona, and there's nothing on the mainstream news or anything in Arizona from any local TV stations going, hey, we have something, or we might have something. Like, uh, yeah, I don't know why that is. So if it turns out not to be her, don't say, oh, I heard this from April Davis. Dean, good Thursday afternoon to all. There was a Tucson Mexican restaurant vandalism yesterday. Some think he may be involved with Nancy Guthrie. Really? Oh, I'd like to hear more, Dean. Hey, Robert Boise. Robert Boise from Boise, Idaho. Oh, hi, Brian. Welcome in. So yeah, that's like the only news that's out there today. But there's no news that confirms any of this. If this happened in Phoenix, I think this would at least be a story in Phoenix, or this would be a story in Arizona. And, they didn't say that it was connected to a crime, or, did somebody drown? Was somebody placed there? Like, they're not even saying if it's a man or a woman. And that's a little disturbing because if they can't say that it's a man or a woman, that tells me that the remains have been there a while. Like, that they can't definitively say that. But how does this, I don't know if this is a rag sheet or if this is a legitimate newspaper in Asia. Like, how would they know this? Has anybody else heard the pawn story today? Or are they getting their news from the same place that lady I occasionally watch on Facebook? I watch her reels, and she's coming up with weird stuff, and I'm like, "Huh?" Like, I don't wanna say anything when I'm not sure. And remember, everybody on my channel is innocent until proven guilty. You guys can all have your opinions on things. You can put it in the chat. Um, I'm not gonna publicly state who I think is involved. I pretty much had made up my mind on this from the 2nd week of February. And remember, this case, didn't get reported until the evening of February 1st, and it didn't really catch nationally until, like, the 2nd when I started going live, but I'd say by, I don't know, between the 13th and the 14th, somewhere around there, towards the end of the 2nd week of the case, I pretty much had my mind made up. Hey, Chicago Dave, why? I don't think I've seen you before. Are you in Chicago? Welcome in. Welcome to my channel. So, yeah, I guess this is not going to be a super long one today. I did read an article that, and I don't have it in front of me, but it was a report about Sheriff Nanos and some comments he recently had made. Hey, B-Miss 5. And he talked about how, they're still going through like video evidence, and there's DNA that they're waiting from. In other words, there's a lot of forensic things to go through. I'm thinking cell phone towers, videos, LPRs, DNA. Hopefully, that type of evidence is going to provide the clue that they need so that they can then get the boots on the ground, so to speak, and go start surveilling suspects. Just got the notification, says Kathy Mowry. Welcome in, Kathy number 3. Yeah, there's 3 Kathys in here today. What are you cooking? I hope it's something good. Uh-oh. Gotta take somebody out. There we go. Uh, and V Miss says to Roscoe, no body, no life insurance payout. Did I miss a comment from Roscoe? The daughter did it for the insurance. That is true. Well, you can have a life insurance payout without a body, because I did a lot of life insurance cases, and I actually had a very famous case involving an overturned boat in the Pacific Ocean off the Ventura, California, Oxnard, California coast. And there was 4 victims, and they only ever found 3. Um, the Coast Guard, they ran out of fuel. They couldn't get to what they thought could be the 4th missing man on time, and a body was never recovered because they left the scene to go get fuel while the ship was still on its way, and they only got 3. And I ended up getting the investigation on the missing man, and it was his boat. They never found the body, and the life insurance company at the time, they were going to process the payment, but there was just a lot of confusion about the heirs and things like that. I can't really go into it here, but uh, they were going to get fully paid for the man's life insurance. He had a big family, and uh, they weren't going to deny the payment because they did have a death certificate. So you can get a death certificate. It happens in many cases. I mean, my comrade, I should say, my fellow Callian, who's a retired FBI agent, said, yeah, there's a lot of times people get prosecuted for M's, meaning unalivings, and there's never a body, but those people still got prosecuted for that person's death, and therefore, at some point there is a death certificate. Now, how long that takes to get a death certificate, that's unknown. But once a death certificate is obtained, um, the insurance company can do whatever they need to do to process that claim. It also depends on if it's a newer policy, what state it's in, how many years it was ineffective before somebody tried to make a claim, because there's a contingency period, especially if it's like 2 years old or less. It just depends. And certain states are very strict, certain states are less strict. So, yeah, they could get life insurance without a body at some point if and only if they can get a death certificate. Now, sometimes in California, a temporary death certificate, which is it's a pending, it's a death certificate, but the cause has not yet been determined. And then they have to do a second one that has an addendum. Sometimes they need that official cause with the addendum. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible because if they never find her, this case never gets solved. At some point, um, someone is going to have to, like a family member, is going to have to declare her deceased. I hope you guys understand that. Kathy says spaghetti. Oh, that sounds good. Bemis says it would probably be case by case and state to state, not really likely in these types of situations, though, at least not for a period of time. You remember I talked about the guys, there was a podcast called Missing in Alaska. It's one of the best podcasts I've ever heard in my life. And I think it was like 11 or 12 episodes. And it's about that missing congressman and Cokie Roberts' dad, who went missing in Alaska in the early 70s in a plane crash. And that happened in October. And by the end of December, every man on that plane, although the plane was never, ever found, they were very quickly declared dead. And the family had all types of insurance. Hey, Suzanne, she sent a gold coin. Thank you very much. That's the first jewel of the day. I appreciate it. It all adds up, honey. Thank you so much. Kathy Mowry, first super chat of the day. Everybody give Kathy a thumbs up on the first super chat of the day. Okay, I will be here. My food needs work. Be right back. Yeah, don't burn your dinner. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I hesitated to come on. Like I slept in today. I'm not sleeping very well at night because I'm thinking about this case, amongst other things. And then my Thai family, one of the kids is having a birthday today, so I had to take care of that and talk to my Thai sponsor son, and then I had to go over to where do I had it right here on my desk to show you guys. Well, where is it? Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. My desk is so full right now. I don't know if you can see this through the green screen, but look what came in the mailbox today. This came from Amazon to the business address. Can you guys see that with the green screen behind me? I was shocked. The site said that this person who has bought quite a few things in the past had bought a card, but it never says quantity. So I was like, but then it said 2 out of 10 when I went to the page, and I'm like, did somebody buy 2? Yeah. You know, this will go a long ways for someone on my limited budget. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. And I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. If you could send me an email and tell me what your username is here, then at least I'll know who you are. But I will keep it private unless you tell me not to. Just saying. I know, Uber Eats. Oh, isn't that awesome? So thank you. All I can say is it's a man, but I don't know who he is. Oh no, not true, but I'm still going to put you in a timeout. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Hold on. Let me re-click you. There we go. Oh, I don't know. Is it my hat? I don't know. Hey, Mary Fish. She says so nice. Hey, Jay, welcome in. Yeah, I sent you an email. You were one of the many people that were checking on me today because I hadn't done a show yet. I was just handling other things. Um, you're late today. No problem. Yeah, I just went over the story from India, which, I can't really trust some of the newspapers in India, but supposedly there was an unidentified person found in a pond at a golf course in Phoenix today. And it's in the news just because, Nancy is missing from Tucson. However, they didn't say if it was a man or a woman, and they don't even have a date. The article was dated June 5th because they're obviously on the other side of the world where it's already the 5th. It came out around 4 o'clock in the morning, Indian Standard Time. And they said that, you know, um, officers responded around 9 a.m. But, 9 a.m. today or 9 a.m. a year ago? Well, this guy is going to be a pain. Oh, goodbye. But he always comes back. You just read it was a male? Oh, you mean the body in Phoenix? Hydrating. Yeah, I hadn't seen that, and I checked right before I went on the air, like, where is this information coming from? And at first, I thought it had something to do with that Facebook story that was reported by the lady. I won't say her name, but she's blonde with a thin face, and she uses lots of filters, so she looks like 30 years younger than she is. And it's kind of funny, actually. Um, she mentioned a body found in a canal in Tucson. I've never seen that story, like, ever. Like, did she get fooled? Like, I got fooled by those Brian Enton videos, and that was so dumb. And they weren't really Brian Enton videos, but it looked like his page, and it wasn't his page. It was like a spoof page to make it look like it was Brian Enton. But they really didn't break the law because, you know, they didn't hack into his account or anything. They just made an account that looked like his. Hey, Christy. Glad you're later today. I actually get to see your live. Yeah, there's not a lot to report. Just a unidentified body in a pond in Phoenix at a golf course, which could be anybody. I feel bad for whoever it is or for however they pass, but I'm not counting on it being related to Miss Nancy. But, considering she is a missing person in the state of Arizona, and, she probably is somewhere in Arizona and she's probably passed, it's at least, it's something that I have to mention. Hey, Barbara. I'm doing good. Came on a little late today. And I was watching the video. Thank you to everybody who watched the video yesterday from the premiere or they watched it on the replay that's over on the video tab regarding that 911, not a call, but the Tucson Police Department's dispatchers talking to the officers in the field because there was a masked person, male, that was seen, 12 miles south of Nancy's the night just before the eve of her disappearance. You know, I've listened to it multiple times and I can't hear if they're saying he's 20 or he's 17 to 20, but that definitely doesn't fit the description of who I think is at Nancy's front porch. And I think there's just a lot of people walking around Phoenix at night that are carrying backpacks or wearing masks, which is kind of weird. And and I should have said Tucson. Did I just say Phoenix? Sometimes I do that. I cross the two up. I'm sorry. But I never heard why someone called 911 on that guy to begin with. I thought it was just like a suspicious person because they did receive multiple calls on the guy. But they also mentioned when I replay it, it's hard to hear because there's those beeps that you hear on 911 calls. Even though it's not the 911 call, it's the dispatcher talking to the officers, and there's all these beeps and in the background. But I heard them refer to the female victim, and they didn't say female reporting party or party reporting. Some agencies say RP, some people say PR. It means the party reporting. They said victim. So if this female was a victim of whatever, what did the guy do? Was he a robber? Was he an assaulter? Um, was he an S offender? Did he commit a theft? Did he commit vandalism? The female victim of what? What crime was that guy called in for? I think that's important to know. Like, not just that there was another masked man walking around Tucson, Arizona, literally hours before Nancy Guthrie disappears at the hands of a masked man, like that was wearing dark clothing, and they said white shoes. I think I misreported yesterday that they said white sneakers, but it was white shoes with black pants, a dark sweater or a black sweater, and a black ski mask. But yet they also said the guy looked either 20 or 17 to 20 with acne on his face and a thin mustache. It was like, well, how did they get that if he was wearing a black ski mask? They didn't mention anything about gloves, but I really doubt somebody would put, a pair or two pairs of gloves on that look like boxing gloves and travel 12 miles on a bus to go to Nancy's at 2 a.m. Like, it just, that doesn't even make sense. Um, but I'd like to know more about who that guy was. And I don't know if they ever caught that guy, but what was he wanted for? And did he get away? Because the officers were trying to access the wash behind the apartment building. And I don't see any apartment buildings in that area, but they talked about 14th Street, 15th Street, Eli Street, Alamo Avenue. It was in that whole, block that they were trying to establish an outer perimeter. So if the guy, they could, kind of smoke him out, and, they would set up on different corners and try to see, because he was going from front yards to backyards, and he may have, got away to the wash. But how was he wearing a ski mask and now he's got, a thin mustache and acne? Like, I'd like to know more about that before we completely say, oh, well, that guy was unrelated. Because I think he's probably unrelated. I don't think he fits the exact description of the guy at the door. But, people missee things when things happen very quick, or a crime occurs and somebody runs, or something happens in the dark. 10 different witnesses are going to tell you 10 different stories, especially when it comes to cars, because I have to deal with that all the time in the PI world. People describe a vehicle, and they have the wrong make, the wrong model, the wrong color, the wrong state license plate. It's just like, oh my God. But see, I'm a trained eye. So, if something happens really quick, I've already got it. But the average person who's not trained to do that would see things 20 different ways. I'd still like to know more. If anybody knows here or can find out, why did someone call 911 to begin with on that masked man? I'd like to know. Christy said the guy didn't look that young. Well, front porch guy, I don't think he's that young at all. That's why I think this other guy is just some other, you know, mass criminal. Maybe, I don't even know if he committed a crime, but they did say there was a victim. Ellie Player One says, Happy Pride Month, BB. Okay, I understand Happy Pride Month, and yes, everybody is welcome here, and Happy Pride Month back to you, but I don't understand what the BB means. But thank you for the yellow heart and for the rainbow. Yes, I am an ally of the community. So, yeah, everybody is welcome here. But if you could explain that to me, just maybe I'm ignorant. Uh, I get the first three letters or words, Happy Pride Month, but who is BB? The guy in the video is a heavy set build. I think so. He's either like a medium build. At first, I thought he was chunky, but then I thought, no, looking on his legs, they're smaller, but maybe underneath that jacket, which some of my viewers have pointed out, they thought it was it Arizona University or University of Arizona? I'm not sure which jacket, but he could be wearing like a sweater or a shirt or another jacket. He could be wearing something underneath that made him look a little stocky to me at first. But the guy that was running around in the neighborhood 12 miles away, he was described as thin. I just don't think it's the same person. Oh, thank you for the floating heart. Oh, okay. Ellie Player One says, thanks. Oh, BB is like baby. It's just a shortened version of it. Okay. See, I'm from Generation X. I'm probably older than you, Ellie. But welcome in and happy Pride Month to you, my dear. I was like, I got to be careful because sometimes people come in here and troll and they'll say like things that I'm like, what does that word mean? And then, one of my mods or one of my viewers will have to say, "Hey, April, did you see that? Like, get that comment out of here." Like, so I just wanted to know what you meant. So thank you. Janice Langley says hello. Well, hello back. Mary, I think so too. And remember, we have a viewer in here who said it was cold that night because she lives in Nancy's neighborhood and she knows Savannah. And she said it was a very cool night. I think Porch Guy had a couple of layers of clothing on, allegedly. I think so too. Um, Ellie says, "You're okay. My dad is in the silent generation, so I'm used to educating people." Yeah, I know about, pride and everything like that and LGBTQ. I know about that, but I just didn't know the BB acronym. Uh, Channel, have you explained if that is a light on your visor or what it is? This is my Wi-Fi mic. This is the transmitter, and the receiver is plugged into my phone. Must have been a pretty cool night, January 31st, February 1st. That's what the neighbor, you guys have seen her, a simple kind of gal. Although I haven't seen her lately. I hope she's doing okay. Because she came in and, she started supporting the channel and she sent me quite a bit of gifts actually, which she didn't need to do that at all. I was just thrilled to have somebody in here who actually knows Savannah Guthrie and who lives in that neighborhood. But I haven't seen her lately. The ginger beer is delicious. You know what? I've only been drinking like 1/3 to one half. So this is like a used one. So it's not as tasty as one that's fresh where I've just popped the lid. But, someone had recently sent me, two different people sent me a 4-pack. So I had 8 of these, but it's already getting slimmer in the refrigerator. So I'm like, oh my God, could I be running out of Bundenberg? Um, hello, Jamie. And Jay said, my parents were silent generation. I'm Generation X. Yeah, me too. So yeah, everybody is welcome here. I probably shouldn't say anything because we don't get political on this channel, but I mentioned some of the mainstream people that I have watched in the past, like Nancy Grace. You guys all know that I've met her and I just adore her. And I do watch Ashley Banfield, Canadian, not I don't know her, but I think of her as one of my Canadian friends. My dad was Canadian, and my one of my besties who passed, everybody knows about her, was Canadian. So I like Ashley. I like Nancy Grace. I like Ann Bremner, Diane Diamond, Jane Velez Mitchell. I am not a big Megyn Kelly fan. She's a very smart woman. I think, isn't she a lawyer or something like Savannah? But I don't know. For someone who's a really educated person, she says some really dumb things. And I saw a little interview with her. I don't watch her very often because I don't align with her politically. Everybody can, we're not going to be political here. You can be whatever you want to be, and you're welcome in my channel. I don't care. Um, but she had my former neighbor on her show the other day. And my former neighbor from years ago, he owned one of the units next to me, is Adam Carolla. And I've met him a couple times, but I don't, he didn't even know my name. I was just like, hey, neighbor, how you doing? That kind of thing. I didn't know him well because some other famous person lived in his unit who was one of my neighbor friends. And he was on her show. And I'm like, oh, Adam Carolla, let me see what they have to say. And I don't know, both of them just kind of went crazy, especially Megan. And I thought, wow, for the people that are in the LGBTQ plus community or allies of that community, she's going to really have pissed a lot of people off. And that's all I'm going to say. But, she said some really dumb stuff yesterday. If you guys, I don't know if it was yesterday or I just saw it yesterday, but I was like, I was kind of blown away. Hey, thank you for the thumbs up, Jessie Jewel. I was just like, I mean, she has said some really dumb things in the past, but even I was shocked. And you don't have to be in that community to be a supporter. Um, just as I have a very close female friend who is an African American woman who is an actress, not a hugely famous actress, but she's been in a lot of stuff. She's been in some of my favorite shows. And if I was with her, like if we were hanging out and somebody called her a racist word, I too would be very offended, even though I'm not an African American person. I would be offended by that. And so I think people that are supporters of everybody and they're inclusive to everybody would get highly, highly offended if they happen to see uh, Megyn Kelly talking with Adam Carolla. And I know this has nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie, but I guess I can see why she's not on a mainstream, like she's not on network news anymore. Whatever channel she used to be affiliated with. And I know more people are watching YouTube now and, streaming channels than they're watching TV. I don't even watch TV anymore except to stream a ball game. That's it. But yeah, I was very, very shocked. And, you know, everybody here, this is a safe place and you are welcome. Mandy's Candy, how you doing, my friend? One of my friends in the gold community. Mandy, I am in desperate need of some good pay dirt. Moving on up. Greetings, April. How was your day? I went to the mailbox today and I picked up these. It's hard to see through the green screen, but 2 Uber Eats gift cards came from my mystery gift giver who I don't know who he is on my YouTube chat. Maybe he just doesn't, ever participate in the chat. There's a lot of people that lurk in the background that never type a word into the chat. So, uh, let's see. What have I missed? Silent Generation. That's a new one on me, says Maggie. I think I know what you mean, Jay. Pretty sure I understand what you're saying. Um, but yeah. So, it's a slow news day. It's a slow news day. Okay, I'm seeing a comment on the computer that I didn't see on my screen from Alessandro. So I'm sorry I missed you, Alessandro. She says, uh, Generation X in the house. Thank you. Maybe I missed that while I was going off on Megyn Kelly. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I just didn't see it. It only shows me like 3 or 4 lines at a time on my phone. And I'm sorry I'm eating a tangerine in front of you guys, but I slept in a lot today and I went to bed early last night, but I couldn't sleep, so I was laying down for way too long and I didn't hydrate during those hours. So yeah. But I'm sure she has like 1 million subscribers, doesn't she? Like, come on. You know what? I wish I could do this, but I can't. Apparently she lives in Connecticut. Any Connecticut people in here? I used to live in Connecticut when I was born. I wish I could, but I wouldn't because I'm not, any moral person as a private investigator. But we should look up, or I should look up Megyn Kelly's address and, put it blasted on my YouTube channel. And then all the people in the LGBTQ plus community could go, TP her house with, rainbow colored toilet paper or something. No, I wouldn't do that because I'd get in trouble. But hey, if anybody needs to serve her with any legal papers and you can actually PDF attach them to an email so I can see that it's legit, then I will go find her. But, somebody in Connecticut will have to go take care of it for me. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh gosh. Maybe she has a mailbox. Everybody could just like send her like rainbow colored toilet paper. It's like, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Shame on you, Megyn Kelly. Um, I find it demeaning that the men and women of WW2 are in the silent generation now. I'm going to have to research that now, Maggie. Now you got me wondering. Kathy says, back again, I had an oopsie that required a bigger pan. Uh, I learned so much on here. I really do. I learned from my audience. I have to be a jack of all trades being a licensed private investigator, but I don't know everything. Oh, what did I think I missed some comments. Plant Man Cheesehead? Who are you? I've never seen you. She's gone like Charlie Kirk. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, let's not get political here, but yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. But she says that she's friends or that she supports the L's and the G's. But she said something about that the B's don't really exist because they're fake, because they're really L's and G's. And I'm not an expert on any of this, but um, I am a PI in California and, I have friends from all walks of life. And I think anybody in the community would be highly offended at that. So I'm just like, whoa. And, I should do an entertainment channel too, because I really know a lot about entertainment. And she took a big swing yesterday at Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Lopez's son, who was formerly a daughter. And she took a swing at Ben Affleck, who has his own children with, even though I know he was an ex of Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo's, he was married to Jennifer Garner. And she took a swing at one of Jennifer Garner's children and Ben Affleck's kids as well. Like, oh, and that's just uncalled for. Those are kids. Like, no. Um, that was really a low move. Like I said, I wouldn't even have turned it on if I hadn't seen my neighbor. And then when I was listening to him, I was like, oh, I never knew he was like that. Like, oh well, different strokes for different folks. Uh, so anyway, I know that has nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie, but we just had a person that came in that was saying, "Hey, happy Pride." So it just came to my mind to bring that up. Hey, Hearts of Gold, my friend Karen. How are you, my friend? I haven't seen you. We got two people from the gold community in here now. We got Mandy's Candy and Karen from Hearts of Gold Prospecting. You guys, if you're not following Hearts of Gold on YouTube, you should. Uh, I'm doing okay, Hearts of Gold. Yeah, one of the channel members, and I don't know who he is. I mean, I know his real name, but and I'm not going to say it here publicly, but um, somebody sent me two of these. It's hard to see on the green screen. I know I keep saying that, but two Uber Eats gift cards arrived at the box today in Studio City, and that's going to come. That's really going to help. Where were you, Karen? Was everything okay with your sister? Or did something happen to you, my dear? You don't need to say it publicly here. You can always send me an email. And Hearts, just like Kathy, um, she's been a longtime channel member. Well, at least since I got monetized. I think she was my first since remonetization was Hearts of Gold, and I see that you renewed your membership. And that's why your star has turned a different color, as has Kathy's. Hearts of Gold says her sister is fine. No problem, Kathy. Don't like go tend to your food. The camping trip was good, but I had an accident. Oh no. And your debit card got compromised? Oh, that sucks when that happens. I'm sorry. And you know what? There's an is she in here today? Let me see. I thought I saw her earlier. Yeah, Sassy Granny. I got your emails and I sent you emails back. And Sassy Granny did a very generous thing for this channel. Just saying. And we'll talk about that more when I get it. Maggie. My mother was born in 1924, enlisted in the WAC, and served in the military hospitals in Topeka, Kansas, and Merced, California. The greatest generation in my estimation. Wow. 1924. Wow. Yeah, my parents were from like 38 and 39. But my uncle was a lot older than my dad, like 14 years older. So he was in World War II when my dad was just a toddler. Uh, oh no, Hearts. My screen house at camp tripped me up and I came down on the picnic table, hit my head, had a minor concussion. Oh no. I'm sorry, Hearts. Hearts, she's got a heart of gold. And I know that gold stands for gold prospecting, but she really does have a heart of gold. That's a perfect, moniker for your or name for your username for your channel. You were laying low. I hadn't seen you, and I figured you were just busy because it's a lot warmer now, and, where you live, you're pretty much snowed in most of the year, so I figured like, "Oh, you're probably out hunting gold." Yeah, I'm trying to get, when he has time, I'm trying to get Curmudge to send me some pay dirt, just like raw, like just some raw dirt, and I'm gonna pay him for the postage, and he said he was gonna do it, so, uh I can't wait if that actually happens because I really want someone who has access to actual, like the creeks or the streams or, the runoffs from the mountain, like the spring breakup and all the water that's running through the streams and the creeks, like somebody to go out with a shovel and, shovel a bag of dirt for me or a bucket and send it to California. Uh, we'll be out. I will send you unsearched material. Okay, hearts. I'm going to give you the same offer that I said to Curmudge, and I know you're in Maine. I hope that's okay for me to say that, but there's a lot of good stuff that's come from Maine. If you do that, not only will I reimburse you for the postage, the box, the shipping material, whatever you need to get me a bucket of dirt, uh, I will also I will do something for you in exchange. I will send you something that you might need. Like I offered to send Curmudge something because I know he's in very remote Alaska and he's not near a store and he has to take the train to go into town to, get his PO box mail and his Amazon boxes. But if there's something, you know, maybe it's something you need for prospecting or something you need from your home or for your family or your pets or let me know because I do have an Amazon Prime account and I can shoot you something. I do have your address here. Um, so, um, and you have my personal address too, besides my business address, Hearts, but just keep that personal one private now that I'm, on YouTube every day. But let me know what it is that you would like, and I will, I can reimburse you either through Venmo or Zelle or Cash App or PayPal or, even, send you a check if I had to. Like, just let me know. It is necessary, Hearts, because you have been a supporter from the very start. Uh, I just can't say enough good things about you. And I wish, even though, I'm sure where you live is beautiful, I wished all these beautiful people that I've met online and through the gold community, I wish that you guys all lived closer. And especially the people like me that are older, that we could all like help each other out, uh, whether it be, meals or just giving somebody a ride to the doctor or picking somebody up from surgery. I wish that with the internet the world has become much smaller, but we still have a lot of miles between Los Angeles and Maine. um, no problem. I mean, be out there hunting the gold. And if you can send me some dirt, and you don't need to add any gold to it. Just, from wherever you like to go prospect. I would love to have some raw material to go through. Now, if you want to take out some of the rocks to make it less heavy, whatever you want to do, like that's fine. But you let me know the postage expenses, anything, and I'll be, be happy to reimburse you and let me know something that you could use or something that's on your wish list, and I will send it your way. I helped her mod a few times while you were gone. Yes, and Kathy, you rocked it. Uh, so thank you so much, Hearts. What a sweet lady. I'm so glad I got involved in the gold community through YouTube. I've just met the most incredible people in that community, and I wish there was somewhere around here that sometimes I dream like, wouldn't it be cool to like live in Alaska and have like a stream right outside my front door and I could take my shovel and, but I'm an Angelino through and through and I can only dream. But they are a great community. And I've won quite a few prizes through that community through like I know Mama Bird and GP and I think they've even come up to Coos Canyon in Maine and got a lot of concentrate, which is awesome. Like, that's just awesome. But well, they're probably around my age. They could be a little younger, I'm not sure. I think we're all around the same age, but I guess they're physically well enough to go do that. But thank you so much. Boy, I'm so excited now. The mailbox, they're like, "Wow, you're here again." I'm like, "Yeah," because people are sending me stuff. Um, it's Hearts of Gold Prospecting, isn't it? Is that your channel name, Hearts of Gold Prospecting? Is that your YouTube channel? Hearts of Gold Prospecting. That's what I thought. In fact, if I can see around this tripod, I'm going to click into it really quick. Hearts of Gold Prospecting. Let me make sure it's the right one. Sometimes I can't get the right one because I was going to put the link up. If you want to put the link in the chat, why don't you do that, Hearts? You just go to your channel and you can put a link in this chat because you are a mod, so you can do that. I just got a bunch of, a Neil Young album popped up when I typed in Hearts of Gold Prospecting. I'm not sure why that is. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Neil Young. So type it in the chat. And that name is not about me. It is about in search of pans of gold. I found so many hearts of gold. Oh, cool. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Hey, Hearts, can you put your channel link into my chat? And then if anybody wants to, get involved in the gold community, feel free to follow her. I think do you have it must be a smaller channel like mine because when I type in your name, maybe I shouldn't be putting the spaces between Hearts of Gold. I'm getting a lot of Neil Young is coming up. There's another Canadian, Neil Young. My friend from Canada had to tell me that. And she was like, "You didn't know Neil Young was Canadian?" And I'm like, "No, I'm so sorry. I apologize." Oh. Like I'm that stupid. Um, I can believe that. Like I'm this old and I don't know that. Okay, I'm trying to get to the link. Copy link address. Okay. I think I have it now. Boy, I hope I have the right one. Okay, let's see if it popped up. There it is. Everybody go subscribe to Hearts of Gold Prospecting. Super nice lady. Somebody click that. Oh, there it is. You did it too at the same time. Okay. Make sure that I have the right one, everybody. Any new info on the Nancy case? The only new info I have, which I don't think is going to pertain to Nancy, but there's a small possibility, is that supposedly there was a person, an unalive person found floating in a pond in a Phoenix golf course pond. But somebody came in here, one of my viewers, and said they thought it was male. But the story that I read, it didn't say if it was male or female. And that's the part of the story that bothered me a bit because if somebody found a body in a pond and they didn't know like it was a male or a female, that maybe that meant uh it's been there a while. That's all I'm trying to say. Oh, you're close to 400 subs. Congratulations. It takes a long time to get that first 1,000, and then once you get that, then it goes a little faster. But heck, I've been on here for 5 years and 5 months, and, I've got 3K, that's it. So, I suck at this. Mom of Simona the cat. As a PI, does it alarm you that Annie thought her mom could walk off and Savannah said her mom couldn't possibly walk off? Is that discrepancy suspicious is someone lying? Well, if it's true that Annie thought her mom could walk off, because I've never heard that before, then yeah, that's very suspicious. Because, as you said, Savannah said her mom couldn't possibly walk off. If that's true, yeah, that's a red flag. That's a big red flag. Need to get more content up. It's just so busy. I know once you start getting more content up, then you don't have time for like I don't have time for my reselling right now. Like my eBay and my whatnot stores are severely lacking, but there's only so much time in the day. And this is summer, and so all the doctor's appointments will start coming up, cardiology, oncology, you know, testing. It's just like it never ends. But I'm still here for now, you know, knock on wood. And with work, I don't have so much time. Oh, oh, you started a garden. Great. I wish I could, but I live in a concrete jungle here in Los Angeles in an apartment building. I would love to have a garden. We had gardens when I was a kid. Well, at least in one of the places we lived, but we lived in lots of places. But the place we lived in where we had a garden, it was always fun. I love that. What image are you using for the background? That is a picture of Nancy Guthrie's home in the Catalina foothills of Tucson, Arizona, where the hideous crime of her being taken was committed. You have some vertical planters. That's fun. Yeah, somebody came on here once and said, "Was that a picture of a mental hospital?" And I was like, "What?" That's like $1 million home in the Catalina foothills neighborhood of Tucson, Arizona. That is where the terrible deed was done, apparently. Well, at least based on the blood evidence. Time will tell. And I do think we still need a little bit more time to get all these forensic things together, such as video, cell records, DNA that was sent to the wrong lab, that, 12 weeks was lost. There could be more DNA that we don't even know about. There could be more blood in the house that we don't know about. I hope the whole case is not hedging on one single rootless hair because that wouldn't be good. Because I think that's iffy. That's a maybe 50-50 at best of getting a hit from that. But nothing new to report today, sadly. I hate to say it's day 124, and all I can tell you is that according to some, paper from India, and I'm not hearing this in mainstream American news that there was a body found at a golf course in Phoenix. So that's all I have for you today. I'm sorry. I hope it's not Nancy, but whoever it is, I pray for them. Okay, Hunter B says, I definitely think there's more to this case than what is public possible family members involved, I'm guessing. There's a lot more to this case than the public knows. And I think Savannah, she may hold the key. She may know a lot more than the rest of us know. And that's why a month later she decided to go back to New York. Because I really think if she thought her mom was still alive, she herself would still be actively looking for her. But I understand why she returned to New York, and I understand why, she had to go back to her family and her children and her husband and her jobs and, fulfill her contractual obligations. And she can't just sit out there, in an Airbnb with, Tommaso and Annie and wait for that phone to ring. And hopefully she has her own investigators on this working around the clock. I hope all the rumors about all the money she's spending on PIs, I hope that's true. Because it's, we're starting the 5th month now. We're in the 4th day of the 5th month. Well, we're 4 full months and 4 days into this, and nobody's nobody's been arrested. No problem, Kathy. There are a lot of red flags, Hunter. I agree. There are a lot of red flags, but once again, everybody here is innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, I don't think she's given up at all. Hart says, I cannot imagine Savannah giving up. I don't think so, but a lot of people were giving her a hard time. The fact that she had to go home. But, Cameron, he had to go home too. He's in the military still. He's a retired fighter pilot, but apparently, from what I'm hearing, he's not yet retired entirely from the military. And apparently, Tommaso has not only gone back to his job as a school teacher, his picture and his name there is no longer on the directory or the website for the school that he taught at. But a lot of people that come into this channel have said that he hadn't taught all year, the 2025-2026 school year. Well, how the heck are they paying their bills? I still want to know all the financials in this case. Who's on what account? Who's on whose home? Who's in what's, who's on whose checkbook? Oh, mom of Simona the cat. Thank you, April. We always enjoyed listening to you. Yeah, I went a little off today on, Megan Kelly. So I hope you guys weren't offended. Um, but a very, very nice new viewer came in and said Happy Pride Month, and I just had to tell a little side story. Just like, and how many subscribers does she even have? Ugh, it's probably close to 1 million, isn't it? Like, I will always keep things real here, people. And we don't typically talk politics or religion. It does slide in every now and then, but you know, everybody here is welcome on my channel. As long as we keep everything clean and we're nice to one another. Everybody be kind. And hashtag justice for Nancy. Yeah. I still feel like I want to give Savannah Guthrie a big hug, and I don't even know Savannah, so that would be inappropriate if I met her. But I'm just sending Savannah so much love and support. No problem. You need to cook dinner, Kathy. Don't burn your pasta. And I'm so happy to see Hearts come in because I was worried about you. I know Kermudge, he's busy with the property, so he can't come in very often. He came in a couple days ago, and we had the same gold conversation that I just had with you. And if you do send it Hearts, make sure that you send it to the home address, which you have, I think. I'll send you an email. I want to make sure because I don't know how heavy a box of dirt would be, so they would charge me a pickup fee at the Studio City commercial mail receiving agent. So I would have to have you send it to my home by the lake. Um, yes, I think I do have your email, don't I? I'm sure I do because I have like a whole list of people in the gold community and their mailing addresses and their emails. You would keep it as a bag, okay? Anything would be like thrilling. uh, yeah, I really don't think Kermudge is going to be able to send like a 5-gallon bucket from um, South Central Alaska to Los Angeles. It could be like a little bucket that's like the size of a coffee cup. Hey, Ralph Hernandez, welcome in. Your pasta has 1 minute left. I wish we were closer because I didn't eat much today, Kathy, and I just felt my blood pressure kind of go a little bit, and I'm like, uh-oh, I think I need to eat. Is that a sugar thing or a blood pressure thing? Or could it be vertigo? Because I have so many things. Actually, no, but just for asking that, because I've had problems with you before, Reese, I'm gonna have to take you out. Hearts of Gold says, I got plans for Coos Canyon soon and Notellum Creek in New Hampshire. Oh, wow. You know what? I haven't seen them since I was in the 6th grade, literally, but my parents had a couple foster kids, and one was Italian and one is Irish, and the Irish one lives in New Hampshire. So if you're out there, Phil, hey, brother. Susan K., welcome in. Yeah, Clifford in Connecticut or Philip in New Hampshire. If you're watching my foster brothers from long ago, I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Hearts. But please let me know. I'm serious about this. Let me know what I can do for you in exchange. And by the way, you did receive a package or an envelope for me, which I probably said should have put it in a package, and you said that it came like empty. I did send you a subsequent package that was actually in a package. Did you receive that, Hearts? It had the poker chip and the stickers, and because you had sent me some of your channel swag, so I sent out a subsequent, and just want to make sure you did get the poker chips, okay? And did you get the stickers? Did you get? Because I sent you some of the stickers that Alaskan Assassin had designed. Hey, Mary Lawson, Jay is back. Just want to make sure. But let me know what I can do for you. Anything that will make your life easier, or even just a nice little gift for you, or even a gift card. It did come with the stickers. Okay. Oh, great. Yeah, I didn't design those most recent stickers. Those were designed by Alaskan Assassin, but he does really good design, so I decided to make them into a sticker. Somebody asked me about that yesterday, and I just told everybody, go to my whatnot. And then if you're not signed up, you can get them for free because they'll give you $15. But you have to be like a new user of that platform, or they don't give you the free spending money. But now I'm so excited. Woo! Wouldn't that be cool if like the dirt from Alaska and Maine came the same day? A friend designed this sticker for me and my husband, and so cool. We look like old timer gold prospectors. Oh, that's so neat. I can't wait to see it. Kathy, you've done so much. Like I already told you, if you want the poker chip, and I'll just throw in the stickers for you. Just let me know how many you need. I don't have that many poker chips, but these are the old ones. But I do have quite a few of the stickers because you have to order them in packs of 100, which was they were quite expensive. But I didn't have to design the logo. It was just I don't have it on my YouTube channel or anything, but I do have that. I have that sticker. I still have some old bunny stickers too. Oh, yeah, I don't have any channel swag right now other than Alaskan stickers from Alaska Assassin Adventures. And he's got a small YouTube channel too. And that guy is funny AF is all I can say. What a character. Oh, great. Hearts has just put her email in the chat if anybody wants to exchange stickers with her. Thank you. You're so sweet, Hearts. You do have a heart of gold. Oh, he wrote you a song? Oh, I just love him. He's so talented. Him and Creed just come up with like the best merch. But Creed's gets a little bit on the R-rated side, and we can't talk about that on YouTube. I've received a few things from his 3D printer like, "Oh my god, is this what I think this is?" Um, yeah, I don't have any artistic talent whatsoever. I wish I had more to report to you guys today on Nancy Guthrie, other than this person who was found in Phoenix. Um, I just don't have anything new to report. I can't believe I've gone this long. Then people are gonna watch this and they're gonna be mad. Oh, speaking of mad, there's a couple people that are always watching my videos and they always put something negative in my comments, and they're like, they saw one of the highlight reels. Like, YouTube, after I do a live video, they make a highlight, and you can put that highlight up on your shorts. And so somebody came across the highlight, and it's just a little clip. It's usually a minute or less. And they're like, "Why does your video cut off?" And I'm just like, "Oh, geez, now I got to deal with this." I'm like, and I wrote back. I said, "That is not a video that you just watched. That is a live highlight. You need to go to the video that's attached to the live highlight and click that video, and then you can watch the video." So if anybody's confused with the live highlights, there'll always be a link in that live highlight in the description that'll show you where that highlight came from. Just saying. I know there's still a lot of confusion with between the comments and the chat and the videos versus the premieres versus the lives. I understand that confusion. It takes a while to figure it out, but a live highlight is just that. It is a small snippet from a live broadcast. Well, I should say a live stream, but it's not the whole 1 to 2 hour video. It's just a few seconds of like, here's a highlight. And I don't even choose, I don't make them, I don't choose them. YouTube makes them. And if they're decent enough, then I just put the date on it, April Davis PI live highlight, June 4th, 2026. Boom. I put the video from June 4th, 2026 at the bottom. People click it and it it gets subscribers and it gets people to link to the live videos. That's all it is. It's like doing a short video. You're not going to make any money from the shorts unless you get like 10 million views. But it brings people into the channel and it lets people go to other videos. So, oh, she was mad, Jay. Why did your video cut off? And once again, if you weren't here earlier, I do apologize that I am human and I am old and I made a mistake yesterday and I forgot to put the Wi-Fi mic on before I went on the air. Just saying. Do you remember that day we got hit so hard? It was timeout after timeout. You know what? It's all a blur to me now, Kathy. Uh, yeah, some people get so mad. I can't see the chat. I'm watching the live on the replay and there's no chat. Like, well, it takes YouTube a day or two to process that chat. Now, when I did a premiere yesterday of a long form video and I uploaded it as a premiere, then you can see that chat right away. But when I do a live, it takes a whole day or two, sometimes 2 weeks. If it's, stuck, it's glitchy, before they'll put up the little, what's called the thanks tab, which is kind of like the super chat tab, but it's the super thanks. And it says thanks or send super thanks on the shorts. I think it says that sometimes. Like, that doesn't process on a live until they process the chat. That's not on my end. I do after the video ends. I go in and I put a description in. Penny is still not done. Dang. Uh, uh. Oh boy. Uh, you can't please them all. And it's like, okay, is this somebody trying to be mean? Is this somebody being a troll? Or is this just somebody who maybe is an elderly person that doesn't understand? I don't know. Happy birthday. Well, it's not my birthday, but thank you. No, you cannot please everyone. Just go with the flow. Ah, that's what I've heard, Dean. Now, this is important. Everybody listen to this. KTAR, Phoenix. I assume that's a Phoenix television station, reports medical examiner unable to reveal gender of body found in pond. Yeah, Kathy, I was trying to cook fettuccine noodles the other day and it was taking forever and I still can't get them right. Like, it heats up the whole apartment when I turn on the oven or the stove. Well, thank you for the birthday cakes. I wish I had some birthday cake. That's right. Oh, we can just, celebrate it the whole month of April. Heck, I've been receiving Halloween ads since April. I'm sure the Christmas ads will be coming by mid month. Maybe in October we can celebrate my birthday and a half. She's this old plus 6 months. Uh, we don't want to ask, Jay. Like seriously. But remains in water do um, process more quickly. Is all I should say. Yeah, Kathy, that's true. And so I did think it was worth making the video, but I didn't make a clickbait title. I still need to change the thumbnail. I'm going to be working on that after I eat. I'm going to fix the thumbnail, maybe rearrange the title for today's video. But I did think because this is a person that was found in the state of Arizona, and it could be someone who is a missing person, and Nancy's a missing person, I think we need to mention it. Just like, we had to mention the thing involving Dog the Bounty Hunter as a slim possibility of being connected. We had to mention yesterday, I talked about the masked man uh, of the eve of the crime on January 31st. We talked about that. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, go watch that. We eventually somebody's going to find something. I hope. So yeah, um, just pray for whoever that is. Pray for whoever it is. My original thoughts on this was water. Then as the months went by, I was like, maybe not. I just want her found. And I want, Savannah and family to have closure. And if Annie and Tommaso are not involved in this at all, then everybody that has pointed the fingers at them needs to apologize. Remember, on my channel, I don't point out anybody as being a viable suspect. Now, are there red flags? Definitely. But, we know this much of the entire case. Hearts of Gold says it would be so nice for the family to have closure. And Kathy says, absolutely, April. Yeah. No matter how this ends, yay, we found her, but it's not going to end well. For any of you out there that think this is going to end well, you're living in a dream world. This is not going to end well. And this is just going to dig the knife in deeper, no matter who's responsible. And hopefully we get closure and we get a criminal conviction. And I hope whoever's responsible that they, rot in prison for the rest of their miserable life. I don't want this to go unsolved. I don't want to find out, 20 years from now. Heck, I won't even be here 20 years from now, most likely. Like, I want this needs to be solved. Hey, Boston. I want to know who made the dinner arrangements and for what reason. I think it was just something she routinely did, and she went over to her daughter's house and had game night. Oh, Boston, there was somebody found in a pond at a golf course in Phoenix. You'll have to see the beginning of the video. But yeah, unidentified person, and we don't know if it's connected to the Nancy Guthrie situation. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you, Boston Bill. If you want to send me that email regarding what we were talking about yesterday, and I'll keep it private. And thank you again. I know your name, but I'm not going to say your name, but I don't know your username on YouTube. Whoever sent me these, you have no idea how much that helps. We don't know. Is it Dino? Okay, everybody. Thank you for coming. Love you all. Have a good evening. And thank you for watching my videos.